Hello, my name is Niels Pfleging. This video is part of the Red 42 web magazine on Substack called Transforming Organizations for Good Fast. And occasionally here I share book recommendations with you by video. And I will do so today again, recommending one book that has really impressed me lately. Um, this is a book. Well, as some of you know, I have been doing a lot of work lately around the topic of time and time orientation. First, that came in the middle of this year. I published a paper, a Beta Codex research paper about time-oriented work systems. Uh, let's call them lean systems that are truly time-oriented, such as the Toyota production system. The Weichselbaum systems, quick response manufacturing, and lean RFS. I compared these approaches in this white paper, and I also showed the connections with decentralization, self-structure design, and relative targets, and how to make such time-oriented work systems highly effective, highly flow-oriented, highly time-oriented, to make them happen within months. So that I think was a very research-wise, that for me that was one of the biggest achievements, I think, in the latest 20 years of this, that I have been doing this kind of research and work. And just a couple of weeks ago, together with Sebastian Kupsch, CTO at Pratke, I published another paper that's centered on time orientation. It's called Time Oriented Software Development, TOSD, or TOSD as we call it, which is about taking the idea of time orientation and flow and single piece flow in the work to the realm of software development, which you might describe as post agile or better agile, if you like. Now, over the course of this research, I have purchased and read a lot of books about time, and it strikes me it struck me that so few business books about time exist, but there are some exceptions. I talked about a few, let's say, organizational study, sociology related, business related books on time. And there's another one that I found a couple of weeks ago that I would like to highlight today. It's called The Human Organization of Time, Temporal Realities and Experience, by an author called Alan Bluedorn. Alan C. Bluedorn. He published quite a few research papers, but this is his major book, his major accomplishment as an author of books. This book was published in 2002, almost the same, 1 year before my first book. So it's old. Yes, this is not a new book. Why am I talking about it? I'm talking about it because I think this is one of the most interesting, most compelling business books about time and organizing that exists. Um, Alan C. Bluedorn, he accomplished something remarkable. By the way, this was published by Stanford University Press in 2002. He accomplished something very interesting. It's an author who doesn't try to be too practical. So the book is philosophical. It's very informed. It cites so many, sources from Heidegger, of course, who maybe was the philosopher most interested in time, to Elliot Jacques or Ed Schein. I would like to read a little, a little piece of the book, just a few paragraphs that you get an idea of Alan Bluedorn's writing. Time is such an obvious factor in social science that it is almost invisible. As tacitly, unconsciously held knowledge, it tends to be in the background rather than the foreground. So everyone ignores it in the sense that they take it, whatever it may be, for granted, and it becomes part of a very firmly defined reality. So we confuse reality with what's natural, and ask ourselves little about it. Yet, as Ed Schein concluded, there is probably no more important category for cultural analysis than the study of how time is conceived and used in a group or organization. And one important use is the generation of meaning. In groups of all sizes, time is used to generate meaning. According to Shine, the parts of cultures found in the level of basic underlying assumptions define what things mean. So, how does time generate meaning? One answer would be in temporal terms. Someone is early or late, or the pace of activity is fast or slow. Someone handles many things at once or only a few. Things are out of sync. All of these statements convey meaning in explicitly temporal terms. Interestingly, they are also all comparative examples in which one condition, for example, fast or slow, is related to the other condition. And this leads to a more fundamental explanation of how time generates meaning. Beautiful paragraph, very, as you notice, not this is not the lightest kind of reading, and the book is full of philosophical contemplations, great quotes, and where they come from regarding to time. It's beautifully unpractical in its approach. The author doesn't want to advise us on how to use time or how to manage time or stuff. It's really just very beautiful. I think very, very profound. And there are very interesting chapters, for example, on polychronicity. Um, other chapters are called "All Times Are Not the Same," or another beautiful chapter titled "Seldom Early, Never Late." So yeah, this is a wonderful book. Now here's the catch. This book is a little rare. It was published over 20 years ago. It's not in print anymore. So if you want to have it, you will probably have to get it used. And at least here in Germany, it's not so easy to come by. So if you're smart, order it quick. Get your copy of Alan C. Bluedorn's The Human Organization of Time, a wonderful book, very beta, very profound, very deep, very meaningful. This is a book that any good, beta codex library should have in it. Thank you for listening. See you very soon.